Alright, on this video, we are going to talk about premium or discount on investment in bonds. Kung napanood mo na yung aking loans receivable video lecture on premium and discount, the concept is the same. Parehas lang ang concept nilang dalawa. So, when a person or a company called the investor invests money to another corporation called the investee or the issuer, dyan nag-uumpisa ang investment. Dito sa investment in bonds, ang ini-issue ni investee, who is also called the issuer, bonds ang ini-issue niya. Okay? On the part of the investee, bonds payable niya or it is classified as a long-term liability ni investee. On the part of the investor, it is the investment in bonds and it's classified as a non-current asset. Ang pag-uusapan natin dito kung ano ba itong ating premium at ano ba itong ating discount. Sa pag-invest ni investor, kumikita siya ng tinatawag na interest income. Si investee naman ay nagkakaroon siya ng tinatawag na interest expense. Dito sa bonds, meron tayong tinatawag na face amount. Yung face amount na yun yung principal amount na nakasaad sa bond certificate ni investor. Yung face amount, yan ang babayaran ni investee on the maturity date. Yan ang ibabalik niyang pera kay investor. But during the life of these bonds, kumikita si investor ng interest income. So itong face amount, yan po ang principal amount na utang ni investee. Let's say, for example, meron tayong face amount na 5 million. Alright, kung meron tayong face amount na 5 million, ang ibig sabihin, yan din ang ibabalik or babayaran ni investee on the maturity date. On the part of the investor, itong face amount ng bonds na 5 million, pwede niyang i-acquire o i-purchase, bilhin ng mas mababa sa 5 million, mas mababa sa face amount. Pwede rin niyang i-acquire na mas mataas sa face amount. Let's say, for example, si investor, binili niya or in-acquire niya itong bonds na ito at face amount. Ang ibig sabihin, binili niya rin ito ng 5 milyon. If the acquisition cost is equal to the face amount, yan na rin ang i-record niya sa kanyang investment in bonds ay yung face amount ng bonds na yan. And let's say for example, itong bonds na ito, meron siyang 5 years life of this bond. Let me write down my timeline here. We have our transaction dates and the 5 years life of these bonds. Let's say, for example, binili ito ni investor at face amount na 5 million. And let's say, for example, the nominal interest rate of this bond is 8%. Nominal interest rate is also known as stated interest rate. Parehas lang ang ibig sabihin nun. Ang ibig sabihin, dun sa bond certificate na yun, nakasaad, stated, nakasaad doon ang interest rate. Yan ang tinatawag din ng stated interest rate. Iba naman ang effective interest rate. Pag-uusapan natin yan pagdating natin sa effective interest method of amortization. So, we have a face amount of 5 million which is equal to the acquisition cost to on the transaction date. Ang magiging entry natin nung binili or in-acquire ni investor, our entry on the transaction date is debit to the investment in bonds of 5 million and credit to cash of 5 million. So pagdating ng maturity date on the year 5, the last year of life of the bond, babayaran ni investee si investor ng face amount ng bonds na yon. So on the maturity date, our entry, kapag tinanggap na ni investor ang 5 milyon na face amount ng bonds na yan, the entry will be debit to cash of 5 million and credit to the investment in bonds of 5 million. So kapag nag-mature na yung bonds na yun, si investee, ibabalik na niya ang pera ni investor. So kapag tinanggap na ni investor ang 5 million, the entry will be debit to cash of 5 million and credit to the investment in bonds of 5 million. So yan ang magiging entry niya. Along the way, from the transaction date up to the maturity date, yan ang tinatawag mong life of the bonds. Between the transaction dates up to the maturity date, that is the life of the bond. And during the life of the bonds, kumikita itong si investor ng interest income. Dito sa examples natin na ito, ang nominal rate ay 8%. That means si investee, nagbabayad siya kay investor every year. Let's say for example, annually ang pagbabayad niya every year ng 5 million times 8% times 1, which is equivalent to 400,000. So every year, itong si investor, kumikita siya ng 400,000 as interest income dito sa pag-i-invest niya ng pera niya kay investee. The interest is calculated as the face amount multiplied by the nominal interest rate times the time. The time is every year sa examples natin na ito. So we have 5 million times 8% times 1. Our interest income received is 400,000. Yan po ang ating interest income received from the investee every year. As an investor or the bondholder, paano niya nire-record itong interest income na ni-receive niya? We debit our cash of 400,000 and we credit our interest income of 400,000. So kapag ang tanong sa iyo magkano ang interest income ni investor on this example, the answer is 400,000 every year. Habang hawak-hawak ni investor itong bonds na ito, kikita siya ng 400,000 na interest income from the investee. Simple lang ang accounting kapag si investor, in-acquire niya itong bonds na ito at face amount. No amortizations, no premium, and no discount. So, ano nga ba itong premium at discount? Ganito yan. Right, ganito ang premium and discount. So, meron tayong face amount of the bonds. Kapag in-acquire ni investor itong bonds na ito at face amount, wala siyang premium, wala siyang discount. Nagkakaroon lang ng premium and discount kapag ito ay in-acquire not equal to the face amount. In-acquire more than the face amount or less than the face amount. Kapag in-acquire niya, for example, itong bonds na ito with a face amount of 5 million, let's say for example, in-acquire niya ito ng 5,500,000. So, si investor, pwede niyang i-acquire itong bonds na ito not only at face amount, but pwede niyang i-acquire ito more than the face amount or less than the face amount. Let's say, for example, in-acquire niya ito at 5,500,000. The difference between the acquisition cost of 5,500,000 and the face amount of 5 million is what you call premium. So, meron tayong 500,000 na premium. Kapag si investor naman ay in-acquire niya ito less than the face amount, let's say for example, in-acquire niya ito ng 4,750,000. The difference between the face amount of 5 million at saka ang kanyang acquisition cost na 4,750,000, yan ang tinatawag mong discount. So, kung itong bonds na ito na merong face amount na 5 million at in-acquire ni investor ng 4,750,000, meron siyang discount na 250,000. So, remember, itong bonds na ito on the maturity date, si investee, ibabalik na niya yung in-invest ni investor. Ang ibabalik ni investee ay yung face amount na 5 million on the maturity date. Pero, kung in-acquire ito ni investor more than the face amount, nagkakaroon siya ng premium. Kung in-acquire niya ito ng 5,500,000 at pagdating ng maturity date, ang babayaran sa kanya ni investee ay 5 million, the face amount of the bonds, para siyang natalo ng 500,000. So, itong premium na ito, as if this is a loss on the part of the investor. The face amount, yan yung babayaran ni investee on the maturity date. Pero on the transaction date, in-acquire ito ni investor ng 5,500,000. So kung ang ibabalik ni investor sa kanya on the maturity date ay 5 million, natalo siya ng 500,000. Yang 500,000, yan po ang tinatawag mong premium. The premium is as if nagkaroon ng loss si investor sa pag-acquire niya ng investment na ito. Dito naman sa discount is the other way around. Si investor, binili niya ito, in-acquire niya itong bonds na ito na may face amount na 5 million. In-acquire ni investor 4,750,000. Kung sa maturity date, ang babalik ni investee ay 5 million at nabili lang niya ng 4,750,000 as if nagkaroon siya ng gain. Kapag in-acquire ni investor ang bonds na ito at face amount, wala siyang premium, wala siyang discount. Kapag in-acquire niya ito more than the face amount, nagkakaroon siya ng premium. Kapag in-acquire naman niya less than the face amount, then nagkakaroon siya ng discount. Now, paano natin ina-account itong premium or itong discount na yan? Si investor, on the life of these bonds, mag-earn siya ng interest income. Sa premium, on the transaction date, i-record natin yan, investment in bonds niya as 5,500,000. Hindi yung face amount na 5 million. Alright? Yung difference na premium, nagkaroon siya ng loss. Itong premium na 500,000 or loss na 500,000, ang gagawin natin dyan ay i-amortize natin over the life of the bonds. Alright? Unti-unti nating i-recognize ito na as if nagkaroon tayo ng loss. Pero yung loss na yon, ibabawas lang natin yan sa interest income na tatanggapin natin kay investee. So kapag tumanggap tayo kay investee ng 400,000 at mayroon tayong amortizations of the premium na 100,000, ang ibig sabihin, ang na-earn lang natin sa taon na yon ay 300,000. Alright? Ganun ang concept niya. Yung premium, ang gagawin po natin dyan, i-amortize natin over the life of the bonds. At ang amortization ng premium, binabawas po natin yan sa interest income natin at ibinabawas din po natin yan sa ating investment account. Ang amortization natin ng premium na ito over the life of the bonds is deductions to the investment account and interest income. So, bumababa ang ating interest income na nare-receive natin kay investee dahil sa amortization ng ating loss. Then, deduction din yan sa ating investment account. We will talk about that in a little bit. Ang ating entry sa amortizations ng premium is debit to interest income and credit to the investment account. Ang ibig sabihin, kapag nag-debit ka ng interest income, binabawas mo yan sa interest income because the normal side of the interest income is credit. So kapag nag-credit ka ng interest income, dinadagdagan mo yung account na yan. Dito naman sa discount na as if nagkaroon siya ng gain. Bakit siya nagkaroon ng gain? Kasi in-acquire niya yung bonds na ito na may face amount na 5 million na 4,750,000. The difference between this face amount and the acquisition cost is what you call discount. So, nagkaroon siya ng discount na 250,000. Pagdating ng maturity date, si investee, babayaran niya si investor at face amount. No more, no less. So, nagkaroon siya ng discount. Itong gain na ito ay hindi natin i-recognize kaagad ito sa transaction date. Ang gagawin natin, unti-unti nating i-recognize ito by amortizations of this discount every year. Tapos, idadagdag natin yan sa ating interest income. So, yan ang discount. As if nakaroon siya ng gain. Si investor, hindi niya ito nire-recognize on the date of transactions. So, ang gagawin niya is i-amortize niya itong discount amount na ito over the life of the bonds. Okay? And the amortizations of this discount is addition to the investment account and the interest income. Therefore, ang ating magiging entry dito sa amortizations of the discount is So our entry on the amortizations of discount ay debit to the investment in bonds and credit to the interest income. Kapag nagdi-debit ka ng account na ang normal side ay debit, dinadagdagan mo yan. Ganon din sa credit side. Kapag ang normal side ng account na yun ay credit at credit mo siya, ang ibig sabihin, dinadagdagan mo yung account na yun. So, we debit our investment in bonds, which is addition to the account investment in bonds and credit to interest income. So, ang ibig sabihin din dito sa discount, aside from the interest income na ni-receive natin from the investee, mas madadagdagan tayo ng income na na-earn natin from the amortizations of discount. So, ito po ang iyong premium and discount. Ang face amount ng bond, yun ang principal amount na nakasaad sa bond certificate ni investor. Yun ang amount na babayaran ni investee na ibabalik niya kay investor on the maturity date. No more, no less. Itong si investor, pwede niyang i-acquire itong bonds na ito at face amount. Kapag in-acquire niya at face amount, wala siyang premium, wala siyang discount. Therefore, wala siyang amortization. So, kapag in-acquire niya at face amount, so, kapag si investor, in-acquire niya itong bonds na ito at face amount, that means wala tayong premium, wala tayong discount. Dahil wala tayong premium, wala tayong discount, wala tayong amortization. Nagkakaroon lang tayo ng amortization kapag meron tayong premium at meron tayong discount. Kapag mas mataas ang pag-acquire ni investor, meron siyang premium. Kapag mababa naman ang pag-acquire ni investor, that means meron siyang discount. Itong premium and discount, this is amortized over the life of the bonds. At sa premium, dinideduct po natin yan sa ating investment account at dinideduct din natin yan sa ating interest income. Ang ibig sabihin, bumababa ang ating interest income na dapat nating na-earn from the investee. Ito namang amortizations of the discount naman ay addition to the investment account and the interest income. Ang ibig sabihin, nag-i-increase ang ating investment in bonds, nag-i-increase din ang ating interest income. So, ito ang concept ng ating premium and discount. Mayroon tayong tatlong klase ng methods of amortizations of this premium and this discount. And these are, so ito na nga ang tatlong methods of amortizations of this premium or this discount. We have our straight line method, effective interest method, at ang bond outstanding method. Dito sa straight line methods, ang formula natin para makuha natin yung amortizations of this premium or this discount, our formula is so, sa straight line methods, napakadali lang ito, okay? Yung amount ng ating premium, kung yan ang ina-amortize mo, or yung amount ng ating discount, kung yan ang ina-amortize mo, all over the life of the bonds. I-divide lang natin yan sa life ng bonds natin. Remember, the life of our bonds is from the transaction date up to the maturity date. On our example, ang life ng ating bonds ay 5 years. So, kung i-amortize natin itong premium na ito, for example, 500,000 divided by the 5 years, every year meron tayong amortizations of this premium na 100,000. Ganyan ang straight line method. Dito naman sa effective interest method, ang formula natin para makuha natin ang amortization ng ating premium or discount ay ito. So, dito naman sa effective interest method, ang formula natin to get our amortization is yung face amount ng ating bonds multiplied by our nominal interest rate or the stated interest rate. Yung makukuha mong amount dyan, ima-minus natin yung amount ng carrying amount multiplied by the effective interest rate. So, yung makukuha natin dito, ima-minus natin itong dalawang ito, yun ang magiging amortizations natin ng premium or ng discount. Pag-uusapan natin itong effective interest methods in a separate video para mas maiintindihan natin yung difference ng face amount sa carrying amount, yung difference ng nominal interest rate at ng effective interest rate. Lahat yan pag-uusapan natin. Dito naman sa bond outstanding method, kinukuha natin yung outstanding, ang ibig sabihin yung natitira pang face amount ng bonds na yon. Usually, itong bond outstanding ay ginagamit sa serial bonds to amortize any premium or discount. Tinawag na serial bonds dahil nagbabayad si investee an amount of the face amount. Let's say for example, si investee every year over the life of the bonds of 5 years, every year nagbabayad siya ng 1,000,000. Dito sa ating example, meron tayong 5 years life of the bonds. Let's say, for example, nagbabayad si investee ng tigi 1,000,000 every year. So, on the 5th year, tapos na siyang magbayad ng face amount ng bonds na ito. So, kung gagamit tayo ng bond outstanding method, ganito ang magiging formula natin. So, ganito ang calculations ng ating amortizations of our premium or discount using the bond outstanding method is, so kukunin mo muna yung bond outstanding sa bawat taon. Sa example natin, we have 5 million and every year nagbibigay si investee ng 1,000,000. So, on the first year of this bonds, the bond outstanding is 5 million. Dahil nagbigay na siya ng 1,000,000, on the second year, magiging 4 million na lang ang bond outstanding niya. Yun na lang ang natitira. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng bond outstanding. Magkano na lang ang natitira sa taon na yun. Then, so on until on the 5th year, 1,000,000 na lang ang natitira or yan na lang ang bond outstanding niya. Then, from the bond outstanding, i-add po natin lahat yan to get our denominator. Then we will get our fractions for each year. So, on the first year, we have 5/15. Then, imo-multiply mo lang po yan sa premium or sa discount na amount. Then, magkukuha mo ang amortization amount using this bond outstanding method. So, sa bond outstanding method, every year magkakaiba ang kanilang amount. Dahil magkaiba ang kanilang fractions to multiply to the premium or to the discount. Dito sa straight lines, pare-parehas lang ang amortization niya. Dito sa effective interest method, magkakaiba rin ang kanyang amount ng amortization dahil nag-iiba ang carrying amount ng ating investment in bonds. So these are our 3 methods of amortizations. We have our straight line method, we have our effective interest methods, and our bond outstanding method. Ito po yung mga formulas nila. Then, let's try to solve these examples using our straight line method. Ganito yan.